YouTube, what is going on? It is your boy SalvationsElite, and we are back with another video, guys. It's been a little while. It's been what, 5-6 days since we have uploaded a video. I've been traveling. I'm back for spring break. I'm excited to have some time to put out these videos. We're gonna be on a little bit of a grind this week for putting up some content. Today we are doing pubs tips, the 4 best tips for pubs. I promise they're better than the average tips. I wanted to, go a little bit broader with our tips. Normally they're just competitive tips, especially for MWR. And so I just thought it'd be fun to do some pubs tips. All of us play pubs once in a while at least. If not, some of us only play pubs. So I wanted to make sure that you guys out there are getting your tips for this game as well. I had actually a few people ask me about it and what I thought. And so I wanted to make it into a video. Sorry about the long intro, but let's get into it, baby. The first tip is play on the outside of the map. And this is what I'm talking about. Don't be running from spawn into the middle of this map, bro. The middle of the map is the death trap. I'm telling you right now, you will die in the middle of the map. Right off the bat, it has nothing else to do with Call of Duty besides moving yourself. Move yourself on the outside of the map. And I don't mean just like the outside of the fence like an idiot. I mean, just use the routes that are on the outside of the map. Every map has routes that kind of go around the edges of the map. Always play on the outside of the map. It'll always make you better. Only go on the inside of the map if it's absolutely necessary. Like you're playing free-for-all like you're seeing here in this gameplay, and you need those last few kills and you just need to find somebody, then you run in the middle of the map. That's fine. That's fine. But for the most part, stick to the edge of the map. Alright, so for this tip number 2, I know everyone hates camping, but what I'm saying right now, if you want to get to the top of that leaderboard, camp for score streaks. So I think you guys see in this gameplay right here that I kind of camp for my UAV and my airstrikes and my helicopter for a little bit there, but you got to do it if you want to get to the top of those leaderboards. In MWR, UAVs are what matter the most. If you can get UAVs, you can win any game. So if you have constant UAVs, especially in free-for-all, oh my gosh, UAVs change the game. The third tip is assume the enemies know where you are. What I mean by that is assume that the enemies see you on their mini-maps when you're shooting. If you're on the edge of the map and you're taking some shots at a guy who's a little ways from you, assume that another enemy knows that you are there. So say you're on a second story of a building and you're shooting out and you miss some bullets. You have to assume that the enemy knows you're there and they're going to come for you. Every so often you need to be turning around watching the stairs, especially in free-for-all. It's not as important in Domination because usually you can look at the mini-map and see where your teammates are. And so if your teammates are close to you, you can assume that there's no enemies. It just depends on what game mode you're playing, but for the most part, assume that they know where you are. And now you have to assume that, but you have to think ahead and think about where will they come from since they know I'm here, Are they gonna come up the stairs and then come through the window? Are they gonna, snipe me from across the map? What are they gonna do? So those are the questions you gotta ask. It's the fourth tip that I honestly think is important. It has to do with your movement again. Play for long lines of sight. So what I mean by that is don't be playing the corners and all that, especially on maps that provide long lines of sight. Unless you're using maybe the AK-74 or a mini Uzi or something like that, maybe the P90. You can play for those smaller things, but if you're using a different gun, using an M16, M4, whatever it is, you're sniping, whatever. You gotta play for those long lines of sight. It's something that a lot of people I think forget about, especially players who haven't played as much, is that they'll start playing the wrong style of game for the gun they're using. So if you're using an assault rifle, play for long lines of sight so you can pick them off from long distances. If you got a sub, you can play for those shorter distances. And so the key is to be familiar with those maps so you can play the play style that is adequate for the type of weapon you have. It's a little bit difficult to figure out at first, but you just have to be smart about it. Play for the small spaces for the short range guns, play the long spaces for the long range gun. It sounds so obvious, I know, but I'm telling you right now, it's not that easy all the time, and I'll find myself even sometimes playing the wrong style play for the gun that I have. So you just gotta be aware of it. I hope you guys enjoyed the short video on pubs tips. I haven't really done anything like pubs tips before. Once again, smash the like button if you did. Comment and share your thoughts down below, and share if you really enjoyed it, guys. As always, I'm your boy SalvationsElite, and we will see you next time. I'm out. But nonetheless, guys, here are 6 tips outside of the match that'll make you better at Call of Duty. So the first tip that's really simple and really easy to do that can actually help, especially if you have a headset, is change the volume type if you haven't already. So what I'm talking about is changing your volume